morning, this is Gene Thorpe and Little Red Rooster TV, and so today I want to tell you a little story about a music store in Sacramento and my experiences with some really great people in the music store business. Back in the early 60s, 62, 63, 64, there was a music store downtown called Ye Music Center. And Sacramento as a town was an interesting town as far as big band players and big bands would go, because Sacramento had the Sacramento Inn, which had a real nice stage, had several really nice hotels. And so the big bands would come through from New York and LA and Chicago and the big cities, and they would play in Sacramento. And so the same thing would happen with Bob Wills and Texas Playboys in the country side. So a lot of people who were on the road found Sacramento to be a nice town and retired. And one of the people that did was a guy named Ralph Beyer. And I'd known Ralph since the early 60s. I had a guitar, a Gretsch guitar, and it got damaged, really heavily damaged. And my mom felt bad about it. It was an accident. And she took it to Ye Music Center, and the repairman there who repaired violins and fine instruments, clarinets, saxophones. He was a saxophone player, and a lot of those types of instruments need a lot of maintenance. And so Greg Beyer was kind of an instrument repairman there. He repaired this guitar for me. In the early 80s, I met Greg Beyer, and that was Ralph's son. And Greg became an attorney, but he had the Sacramento Music Center along with his sister, and I don't know if his dad still had ownership in it at that point or whatever. But anyway, he's lived out here in SoBi, lived out here in Lincoln for many, many years, and he wanted to liquidate some of his musical instruments. He's got a very fine collection. I'm just going to go through them briefly, some of the things that he wants to sell. This is a 1970 Gibson ES335 walnut, real good condition. This right here is an Italian handmade three-quarter violin from the late 1800s, and it's a beautiful thing. We'll talk about it a little bit later. A couple of clarinets, student models in that. And here is a violin from the 1700s. And this one, I'm going to take it out of here briefly and show you. Here's something from the 1700s that will be up at the Box Room Guitar Center up for sale. And we definitely thank Greg and family for giving the Box Room an opportunity to sell some of these instruments. This is a three-quarter size, or actually it might be a half size, Stradivarius copy of a violin. And then over here we have a really cool bass. It's a Jackson bass with the case, and we'll be talking about that later, and a mandolin. So roughly around $30,000 worth of inventory. We'll be putting them up on the site and talking about each thing individually. So we want to thank Greg Beyer, Sacramento Music Center, Ralph Beyer, for being in our lives. And this is Gene Thorpe, Little Red Rooster TV, signing out.